glad you made it, sir. The presidential compound is on the other side of the city. Keep your head down. The turnoids are crawling all over the place.
Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal walkthrough. This is, of course, the third Ratchet and Clank game, and this is, I think, the fourth or third planet, maybe even the second planet we've gone on to. And this is a pretty cool one, but it's kind of what made me not like the game too much, and it's when we're going to start selecting our missions from a menu. So all those soldiers that we see that are on our side, which is kind of cool that they're going around helping us, those soldiers are going to need help a little bit later on once we get to the dropship that will take us to them. And then we're going to have to select a bunch of missions and do all 4 of them. I think it's 4 or 5 missions, and then we can actually continue on with the story. Now, you don't actually have to do all of the missions that are equivalent to this one. You only have to do a few of them that are required for the story mode, but if you do all of them, then you get a... Actually, no, never mind. You do have to do all of them because you have to get a teleporter. Okay, never mind. I made that up. Anyway, so we're going to have to do all these kinds of missions, which is kind of annoying in a way. Now, on the plus side, they're not very difficult, and you get a ton of bolts from doing them. And that is always good because bolts are a little bit hard to come by in this game. Once we get through Annihilation Nation and we do all of these missions, collecting bolts is it's actually pretty difficult until you beat the game. So that's one good benefit of these kinds of missions, but I just don't like them because none of this game really has a thing like the original where you go to a world and there's 2 or 3 objectives on there and you kind of just have to find your way. I mean, they made it to where there's one objective and you go down one singular path to get to it and then you're there. And for some reason, I mean, Ratchet and Clank's pretty linear to begin with, but for some reason making it even that much more linear just kind of bothered me. And it did turn this more into a story mode type game than an actual Ratchet and Clank game, in my opinion, just because the story is cool, but I did mention this a few videos ago. So anyway, this world is pretty straightforward, as all of them are going to be, and as I said, I'm not going to narrate all these Ratchet and Clank videos because there's not going to be much different between each video. Now, these big frog things, these aliens that are in that suit that's shooting at me right now, these are going to be a recurring theme, and they're going to do more and more damage as you run into them. So that guy immediately does 4 damage, which is still kind of a lot this early on in the game, but he's not too bad to take out. Later on, I will be getting a hold of our rocket, and that'll pretty much be doing all the work toward those guys. But for now, you'll just want to use whatever you have available and try to use a shotgun to take out some of these guys. That guy was wanting to be particularly stubborn for some reason, so I had to go and ruin his day. And then here's going to be another one of these alien guys. And at the end of this, we'll be reaching that dropship that we need to get to, and then I'll be explaining a few more methods on how those kinds of missions work. So for these guys in the suits, you're really going to want to try to strafe and jump when they fire at you, and they fire kind of quickly, and if you think you've dodged their shot, think again, because sometimes even the trailing part of their bullet will still hit you, which I think is really stupid, but that's just how it is. And of course, be sure to keep an eye on your ammo. Ammo isn't nearly as big a problem in this game as it was in the second one, I don't think anyway. And that's just because a lot of the levels are so short and, well, I mean, they're kind of longer than in the second one, but the time between 2 ammo vendors seems a lot shorter than in the previous game. So I don't think I ever ran out of ammo on all of my weapons once in this one, and I did a few times in the second Ratchet and Clank. And because of the extra linear levels, there's actually about 10 or 20 less levels than the first 2 games, and that's kind of odd that they went with making this one so much shorter. I think this one probably took me about 5 or 6 hours to beat, and that's about the same time it took me to beat the first Ratchet and Clank.
Nice shooting, sir. A second wave of turnoids just landed. They're attacking the compound from the other side. We could sure use your help.
You got it.
Follow me to the dropship.
Whoops, I wasn't paying attention and missed the cutscene there, but anyway. And it took me about 12 to beat the second Ratchet and Clank, and this one went backwards on pretty much every aspect. Now, something I did forget to mention the last time I narrated is that each gun can level up 5 times, and level 5 is of course going to be the most powerful. So if there's a weapon you're using that you think isn't that good, wait till you get it to level 5 because it's going to destroy. I mean, at level 5 on anything just seems awesome, except for probably the shotgun. And you'll get a rocket later on, and that thing takes forever to level up. But once you finally get it to level 5, it's just so strong. Man, it's amazing. But unfortunately, I didn't actually get it to level 5 until about the end of the game, so I didn't get to use it very much, and I don't have much interest in playing the challenge mode anyway. So when we're ready to get going, you'll want to collect the boxes you can get a hold of just to get some of those extra bolts, and then you can step on into the dropship, and then you can select the mission screen. And this is really what bothered me. So this is my least favorite thing about this game. We select our missions from a screen. I don't know why it couldn't have just sent us in and given us the objective like it's always done before. So anyway, get into the ship and then select the first one, which is secure the area. And then we're just going to have to do a pretty short, I think this only takes a minute or two, just do a pretty short mission, and then you'll have to do it looks like about 4 more times. And some of them will have different objectives, like this one is just getting rid of the bad guys that are here now, and later on you'll have to protect some of the soldiers that are with you. And there's going to be a few others that are pretty much just as easy. I mean, this is not very difficult to do. So the rest of this video is going to be straightforward. You just have to go through all of these missions and then view the cutscene with the monkey president at the end, and that'll be it for this video.
This weapon upgrade features a lock-on mod. To lock onto enemies, press and hold L2 and R2.
Area secure. Nice work, ladies. Let's move out. Sarge, cover those Rangers. If we lose the whole squad, it's all over. Incoming! They're everywhere! plans. We need to take out those enemy dropships. The sauces are just icing on the cake. Fire at will! Protect the repair crew! We need that turret back online! Keep them off our backs! We'll have this baby back up in no time! Covering fire! We've got to protect the repair crew! Keep it up! Repairs are almost finished. The repairs are finished! Now we'll give those Noids a taste of their own medicine! The Noids have launched an all-out assault! We need those air defenses online yesterday!
Enemies appear red on the radar. Allies appear blue. Mission objectives appear green. Press square to attach the wrench to the bolt crank.
target aircraft! You'll need to handle the ground troops yourself! The Noids are throwing everything they got at us. Keep it up, Sarge! We just need one more turret to stop the Noids cold! Mission accomplished. We'll take it from here, Sarge.
Agent Clank? You're even more impressive in person than you are on the holovid. And I must say, I've never seen a chauffeur fight like you do, son. Who says you can't find good help these days, right, Clank? Sasha's told me a lot about you. Don't get any ideas, kid. She is way out of your league. Sasha filled me in on the Quark situation. I'm told the man thinks he's a monkey?
He has lost his memory, sir.
Well, then you'll simply have to find it for him. We need our star player back in the game ASAP. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
My daughter tells me you're a man who's good with his hands, Ratchet.
Sir, I swear I never...
The city's laser shield went down during the attack. Now, we are defenseless without it. I sent out a repairman to fix it, but he disappeared. I need you to get that shield system back online.
Yes, sir. We're on it.